Hi, my name is Bill Miller, and I'm going to be your Chem 2000 instructor this semester. Just want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about the class. So let's start with course expectations. There is an expectation that you will spend approximately 7 hours per week in class, and then on average, students tell me that they spend about 13 hours per week outside of class doing homework, studying for exams, working on lecture outlines and things like that. So let's set some expectations there. It is a big class, meaning that we're going to learn a lot, and it does take time to learn chemistry. And I know that you all want to be engineers, and there is a certain amount of chemistry that underlies a lot of the different branches of engineering. In fact, approximately one semester apparently, since that's what's required. Let's see. So things are going to be a little strange during week 1. However, starting in week 2 and beyond, you will be expected to attend for the full time each week. Week 1 is going to be a little different because we're going to have an intro session, and then I'm going to let everybody not attend class and actually start watching lecture videos, pre-recorded videos of the lectures. I do this because I want you to get off to a fast start learning some of the chemistry, such that by week 2 we can start talking about some of the chemistry. So week 1 is almost entirely about watching pre-recorded lecture videos and taking notes while you do them, and then turning those notes in to get points. So we will have an intro session. It will be at 12:30 on Tuesday, and that intro session we will go over how the course runs, some of which I'm going over here. I will answer any questions you have, and then largely you will be released on Tuesday especially to go and watch the pre-recorded lecture videos. I'll still be there, and I'm happy to answer any questions. You can go do it immediately if you would like, although you also have the option of doing it later. Although if I check my schedule, it looks like you have about 3 hours of videos to watch, and they're due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. So you don't have that much time to do it. And I suggest you just take the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon of class time to knock out most of it. In order to do that, though, you will have to have the lecture outlines available to you. That means either printed out or you can have them on a tablet, an iPad or such, and then you can write right on the iPad and turn them in. You can also, if you don't have a printer or a tablet, you can take the notes on separate pieces of paper. However, I need to be able to tell which page the notes are for, and they have to have the information that is printed on the lecture outlines already. That means that I put there, and the information that you're putting there. So it turns out to be more writing that way. That may be beneficial as a study guide, in fact. However, it does take longer. And if there's another way that you'd like to do the lecture outlines, please let me know. Please ask me. I'm not saying that it will be possible, but I am pretty flexible in how you make sure you take those lecture notes. Okay? Yes, but then starting week 2, you should expect to be here from the beginning to the end of the class session. Now, in lectures, we're generally going to be doing something called Kahoots, and Kahoots are going to be, you're going to need to be able to access Kahoot.it. That's Kahoot. .it. You're going to access the website. That's going to allow you to participate in class, and you will have to sign in with your name, and then I will keep track of it. And at the beginning of the semester, the Kahoots will be simply participation. You answer the questions, whether you get them right or wrong, full credit. And as the semester progresses, you're going to have to get an increasingly higher percent of the questions correct in order to get full credit for the assignments, okay? And I haven't established what that will be. This is my first semester using Kahoots. So, but we will, and I'll let you know well in advance so you can be prepared for it and you can earn all those points. Recitation, there will be a set of problems. I will give you the answers, but not the work, and you're going to have to do the work and turn in that work, okay? And you'll turn in a PDF of your work, and that will get you your points for that. Lab is going to involve at-home kits that you will pick up from campus. We're still setting up the schedule for that. And then we'll work through the labs on a week-by-week basis. Each lab will typically, each actual lab where you do lab work with the kit will typically be broken up into a portion of the lab where you collect data and a portion of the lab when you work on calculations. And we'll work through all that stuff together. There are a couple labs, and we may start off with one of these in the case that we don't get the kits to you in time. But those kits, anyway, so it'll all be in the schedule, and you'll see exactly what you have to do, and I'll help you with it. Now, let's see. Yep. Oh, and general schedule after the first week. Remember, the first week is strange. But after the first week, we'll have from the first 2.5 hours of class on the first day, on Tuesday, will be lecture time. Then there'll be an hour of recitation. And then Thursday will generally be most or all lab time, just to let you know. Now, let's talk about how to succeed in this course. So first thing I'll say is that the exams are the hardest portion of this course. And even such, you will have 3 attempts at each exam, and I will keep your highest one. Now, the exams are open book, open note. However, you do get new questions each time because they're all pool-based. And the idea is, and you also have, I think, a 72-hour window to take the exam 3 times. And so a great approach is to study as much as you can for the exam, take it once, review materials, take it again, review materials, take it a 3rd time, and just maximize the amount of points you get and the amount of knowledge you can show me. And in fact, the exam becomes a learning opportunity to solidify the knowledge for the course. Now, again, but the exams are the hardest portion. You cannot get any help from me for the exams while you're taking them anyway. You can ask questions after the exam. You can review your homework and talk to me during office hours about things like that as well. Then there's the homework, the Kahoots, the recitation, and the labs. And all of these, you can ask me as many questions as you want. The homework, you have as many attempts as you want to get the right answers. And so what I'm suggesting as a tip for success is that you get as many of those kinds of homework, recitation, Kahoot, lab points as possible. And then for every point that you get there, that's one less exam point that you need to get the grade that you want in the class. Also, I think by doing all those things like homework, and getting all those points, you'll learn more and you'll do better on the exams. So that's sort of my approach to the class. Let's see. There will be a weekly flow to this class, like I said. So I'm looking at the schedule here, and it looks like Tuesdays, or let's say this, Tuesdays and Thursdays we'll have class. Tuesday we will have lecture with Kahoots, and therefore Monday, the night before that, is when your lecture outline will be due to be turned in. And so what will happen is in the Kahoot, we'll talk about what you just went over in the lecture outline that was due the night before. Typically, and again, week 1's going to be weird, but typically. Then, but then the recitation will typically be about the homework that you turned in, and homework will generally be due on Fridays, starting in week 2. On week 1, your first homework is due on a Sunday. And labs will be typically due on, I think, well, we'll figure that out too. But There will be a flow. Things will be typically due the same day of the week each week. And there will be a lot of work because we want you to learn a lot, and we understand that repetition and practice are what helps you to learn. Hopefully there will be no busy work you feel you've been required to do just because, and if you feel like that, let me know. I do my best to get you to practice enough without having to practice too much. Let's see, what else? I think that's a basic introduction to the course. I wish you much success this semester. Oh, other tips. So office hours, I'm available at all those office hours and willing to help you. In fact, I consider what I get paid to do is to teach you and answer your questions. And something I'll say several times through the semester, probably say a lot of things, but this is one in particular I want to highlight now, which is chemistry is hard enough when you get all of your questions answered. It is much harder when you don't. And my goal is to make it as easy as possible to master a subject that many people find challenging. But let's make it as easy as possible. Let's have as much fun as possible in the course, and we can do this, and we will. All right, if you have any questions, the best way to get in touch with me is to email me directly at millerww, that's MILLERWW, @pgcc.edu.